He's a meddling owner. He's not, I'm going to just pay checks and go watch the game. He thinks he knows football. Poor Jet fans. I mean, you're stuck in this misery.
Michael, it's been a wild 24 hours on the East Coast there, and certainly for the Jets fans. And maybe they're happy today. No. I don't know if they're happy, but their GM is gone. Joe Douglas has been removed from his role there by the owner, Woody Johnson, after more than 5 seasons at the helm. We talked about it all summer. Right, it was 9.5 was the win total for this team, which was the same win total they had the previous year. That was a dead under, as we saw with Aaron Rodgers' injury. This year they've had Aaron Rodgers, and yet Robert Saleh has been shown the door, and now the GM is gone. I wonder, Michael, is this because of expectation level that has not been reached, that Woody Johnson has said, all right, the coach has got to go, and now the GM has to go?
Well, whenever the owner gets embarrassed, right, he makes a change, he fires Saleh, and the team goes down the tubes. He trades for Davante Adams. It doesn't really help the team. So it's going to be somebody else's fault. One thing we know for sure, it's never the owner's fault. He's never accountable for anything. And I think, to me, Joe Douglas has been neutered for a while now. I think it's one of the hard things. I think since Woody Johnson came back after the Trump administration, and he served over in Ireland. Now he's back. He starts meddling. He's a meddling owner. He's not, I'm going to just pay checks and go watch the game. He thinks he knows football. He thinks overthinking is overrated. He thinks thinking is overrated. So, poor Jet fans. I mean, you're stuck in this misery, right? They went all in on Aaron Rodgers, and I think everybody knew it. I mean, from Saleh to Douglas, when you went all in on Aaron, and you weren't right on Aaron, right? Let's be clear here. They're not right. Everybody thought Aaron could rejuvenate his career.
Sure.
Everybody thought Aaron could get back to the 21 Aaron, not the 22 Aaron, correct?
Yes.
And what we've seen out of Aaron is nothing but the 21 Aaron. We've not seen the 22 Aaron. We've never seen the 21. And Father Time is undefeated. I think this really is about anomalies. Right, everybody sees that Brady was able to play really well into his 40s. Well, the cutoff point for most quarterbacks since I've been in the league is 36, 37. Now, maybe it'll stretch higher because of time, but I think we see it with certain guys. I mean, Matthew Stafford can look great one week and maybe not so much the next week, right? Mm-hmm. We don't see the same consistency of performance that we're used to. And I think the Brady element of this has really affected teams because they truly believe Brady, this guy can come back again. He's coming off a major Achilles injury. Well, you say, Kirk Cousins came back and he looks pretty good. Yeah, but is he really good enough? I mean, has he beaten anybody good? I mean, Atlanta's, they have 6 wins, but two of those wins could have gone. I mean, Atlanta and the Bears might be the same team. Only the Atlanta's gotten an advantage of winning 2 games and the Bears lost 2 games, right? They could be the same team.
Well, I think your analogy.
So I think, to me, I think it's a little bit of that, Dave. I think that they went all in, and when you go all in, somebody's paying a price, and it ain't the owner.
I think you nailed it on the head with the Brady analogy. I think the Jets said, well, Brady went year 1 to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. Aaron will do the same thing, right? And then Stafford did it, right? Year 1 to L.A. from Detroit. Stafford did it. Brady did it. So Rodgers, because he's so great, he'll do it. And it hasn't worked out that way. And I guess, Michael, the question will be for next year, whoever the GM is and whoever the head coach is, what about Rodgers? Is that a Woody Johnson decision? Or is that going to be, because Aaron says he wants to come back, Michael. How does that work out in New York next year with Rodgers and the Jets potentially?
Well, as we have a show on this network called Follow the Money, that's all you have to do is follow the money. He's owed money. Unless he's got to come back. I mean, this is a decision. Whereas the Giants are saying to us, look, we're not going to risk Daniel Jones getting hurt. So he's our 3rd-string quarterback. And if anybody gets hurt here, we're going to make sure that he doesn't play. And so we're not going to be on the hook for $25 million. And I think that's where the Jets can't get away from this. They can't get away from this contract, so they know he's coming back. Now, it's going to be a high draft pick. They're going to have to draft somebody. They're going to have to prepare for the next thing. I think that's what you have to do. You got to prepare. Who's going to be the coach? But look, here's the reality of everything that we're dealing with right now is that Woody's making all these decisions. And for Jet fans, you have to trust Woody knows what he's doing. He's going to call the league office. That's how you got Mike McKagan. He called the league office. They said, talk to Charlie Cashley. Charlie Cashley told him to hire one of his best friends, Mike McKagan. Mike McKagan was no more qualified to be a GM in the league. He'd been a college scout his whole career, right? And so, that's what happens. When you start getting into the league and then the league says, it's the same thing that happened in Chicago, right? They go to the league office, well, Bill Polian and Tony Dungy are going to help you pick the coach. Okay, well, they wanted Eberflus to be the coach. They loved Eberflus. So it was a closed thing. And so to me, who's the best guy out there? I mean, if you're not trying to get – Woody's got to know he's not getting Belichick. But if you're not trying to get Mike Vrabel, who are you trying to get?
That's going to be the question, because whoever you get, you would hope would be symbiotic with Aaron Rodgers, because it sounds like, to your point, Michael, follow the money. He's going to be there next year under contract unless he decides to retire, and that does not seem to be, and hopefully we don't go through another offseason of is Aaron Rodgers retiring or not. He's under contract.
Come on, we're going to play that drama, Dave. Come on, we're going to play that. It's human nature. We're going to do that. But I think, to me, the biggest issue here is, does the GM come in have authority?
Right.
Or does he have to run everything by Woody? If you read all the articles that have come out, they all have said everybody in the Jets front office is involved, not the football people, the vice president, this guy, that guy. I mean, look, I've said this many times, they've never dedicated a monument to a committee. And when you have this many people that don't know anything about football, you're going to have a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah. And it looks like you're getting that right now. So, again, I'll be curious if anybody comes back in that coaching staff. Feels like it is a complete teardown with the head coach long gone, and now the GM, Joe Douglas, is gone after 5 seasons.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at zero cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.